every drop of water has, doubtless, an envelope of electric nature, and that which particle of flame corresponding is one is self-evident. The respective envelopes may come in contact with each other, but their respective principles never. Now, the spirit is far more difficult to reach than would be this flame. As stated before, every perfect thing is globular. The sun, within the brain, I have called by this true name a winged globe. The electric moon, whose seat is on about the solar plexus, it's literally an electric moon, perfectly globular and human being. Body, soul, spirit is surrounded by an atmosphere of the same form, or nearly so. And this enveloping aura, this spirit guard, protects its center, the man, from the injury in contact with other things, unless, indeed, it is voluntarily broken down or yields to the assault from without the objectivity of the will. True, a person may be injured magnetically through this sphere by pressure or malaria, although itself remain unruptured and intact. I observed the aura sphere which surrounded myself and my two glorified companions. The raindrops passed through it as though through portions of respective persons, just as they would a sheet of flame lightning, but without actual contact or wetting either. We have every reason to believe that as we ascend, the air grows colder, until at the height of 45 miles the cold must be in the neighborhood of 3,000 degrees below zero. Now, spirits frequently pass through this. They must pass through it to reach us, yet they are unaffected thereby, for reasons that they are superior to all material influences. Moses, Elias, the spiritual visitants of the patriarchs of the man of Uz, he whom John saw, and others, had to come through this intense cold, and in fact they did so proves that material forces have but little, if any, effect upon spirit. It therefore defies one extreme, and consequently ought the other. It does so. For the spirit seen walking about in the fiery furnace, which was heated 7 times hotter than its actually wont, for the especial grilling of Messrs. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, bade defiance to fire, a fatal fact against the theory of physical hell, the spirits proving not only water, ice, and wind, but fireproof also. Continuing my scrutiny, I observed that never a drop of rain fell upon the center of the heads of either the aerial party, for just over the crown of every human being in the body is a thick bone, out of the body a magnetic shield impenetrable by anything whatever, for every drop of rain slides off it, as from the iron roof. Place a spirit under a stream of falling water, and the central globe would instantly condense to infinitesimal proportions, so firmly embraced by its shield as to resemble the original monad. Nor could water ever come in contact with it, any more than the same water which could come in contact with a plate of iron at a white heat, which everyone knows is physically impossibility. I humbly trust that I have been understood. Answering: how can a spirit reach earth at all, or move through the air at any angle, up or down? I reply: electrically. It projects an image of itself to where it would be. Every man who thinks of a distant point does the same, only that the thing cannot be seen with earthly eyes. There is a magnetic railway between the projection and the projector, along with his later moves. Throw forth an image by glasses across the street. It will find no difficulty in reaching the spot whither you send it. Analogous to this is the power of the soul to go whither it listeth, unimpeded and of its own free will. The ultimatum of all philosophy is to teach men how to live, to instruct them how to die, establish a conviction of immortality, and explain the latter is, and why, and whither it shall lead. The sole business of this book is not to convert any current system of philosophy, harmonial, spiritualistic, or others, to present not mere a theory of hypothesis on the subject of hereafter and its sequences, but to give forth what I know to be the truth, so far as the truth extends. Nor do I fail to be impressed with the deep assurance that, although much herein given necessarily antagonizes few of the popular spiritual theories, yet I believe that that which I have now given concerning the soul and its destiny is perfectly true and correct. I care not how much the reader may doubt the aerial experiences herein narrated, for these are but illustrative, and at best, and in other respects, are of little account. Yet the theory I know to be the only true one yet advanced. And it is to the principles wherein this theory is founded that I call the attention of the thinking world, and challenge its respect. Not a human being whom I have ever seen was fully satisfied with either modern spiritualism or what is called harmonial philosophy. For the more a man bases his hopes of a life hereafter upon either, the more he stands on slippery ground. Doubt after doubt seizes on the mind, until the last people turn away, sad-hearted and desperate, from the so-called systems of immortalism, to take refuge in the church, which erewhile they so loudly berated and condemned. Resort once again to the blessed book, or else unhappily drift out upon the shoreless, hopeless sea of atheism. There are untold multitudes who will gladly hail anything that promises to remove the dreadful doubts concerning not only their own continued existence, but their chances of bliss beyond the veil. Thoroughly imbued with the spirit of truths here written, with these principles set forth and running like a gold vein through that portion which is descriptively mainly, no one can help feeling strong in the certitude of hereafter, these being only attempts yet made in this country to treat the soul, per se, and in its higher, deeper relations, so far as the writer is aware. Concerning the absolute origin and final destiny of the soul itself, the answer to the question, what is God? And the other's equal import, and the reader must look in the second volume, for in the present we have only entered the outskirts of the immediable course which scarcely touched the preface of the mighty volume, Soul.